it's Nube. So today I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about my job search. It has been a trying time. So it first started when I got home from school and was informed by my employer from last year that I would not be working there this year. Basically, I came home believing that I was still employed. I had talked to my employer a couple weeks before coming home from school and made sure that I still had a job there just because they had filled my role in the fall and spring semesters. I was thinking that maybe my replacement would be the permanent person. And so I just wanted to make sure that there would be a place for me when I came back in the summer. I was ensured that I still had a job and that I would be able to fill my role as soon as I came back. So I came home from school, took 2 weeks of vacation, and then went to work as I had been doing the previous summer. I had been there like a couple days, and then like the third or fourth day, they came to me and were like, don't try to get your check from finance office today. Just don't do it. And I was like, well, that's weird. Why is that? And they're just like, well, we can't really quite afford to pay you right now. So, you know, just give it a little bit of time. Like a week went by and I was like, okay, well, if I need to get another job, I need to do it now because the summer's already started. People have been applying for jobs March, April, like way back in the spring. And it's summer now. If I need a job, I need to be looking now. So you need to tell me if I'm not employed. So I went and I was like, hey, am I employed here? If not, it's fine, like I understand, but like I need to know so I can look. At which point I was gently informed that I was not employed at this establishment anymore. He's like, yeah, you might have to start looking. I was like, okay, great. I just kind of wish I had known a little bit earlier so I could have looked a little bit earlier. But it was fine, no hate to him. He's really sweet, he loves me. I know he was really sad to let me go. I was sad because it was the easiest job I've ever had and the best paying, unfortunately. $14 an hour is not much, but it was the most I've ever made. And it was just it was a good environment. So I was sad to go. But you don't got what you don't got. I mean, I wouldn't want to be working there for free, so it was fine. But I'm looking now. I've been applying. It's hard because we only have one car. And my dad and my sister both have jobs. And I'm from the suburbs, so I can't just like catch a bus without walking 2 hours. So for me to get another job that requires me to have transportation, it's just not really happening. So it had to be a remote position or something I can do from home. And the thing is though, there's so many scams out there. So many scams. I made my LinkedIn account. I had one, but I didn't really update it because I didn't think I needed it at the time. Now I do. I had this LinkedIn profile and I would apply to jobs that were on there. And then I'd get emails later saying like, hey, we want you to come in for an interview, or like, we really like what you have to offer. We'd love to see if you'd be right for this position. And I'd be like, great. Some of them you could tell were scams right off the bat because they'd have bad grammar or like a Hotmail email address or something, like just a random email address. Like you can almost always tell from the email address if you double check with the company that they're claiming to represent if they have the same email or not. But some of them were really convincing. Like one of them was applying for this remote personal assistant job and he was like, okay, I'm gonna give you some practice tasks. That was my first alarm because he didn't have me come in for an interview. Like he mentioned that I should have a phone interview, but he didn't actually set it up. And then my second alarm was that I asked if there were any documents he needed, like onboarding paperwork, and he didn't send me any. He just started sending me the tasks I was supposed to do. And it looked legit. Like he had a signature, he had like a stamp of the company at the bottom of the email and everything. Like it looked real. When I was questioning things, I was also kind of hoping that it was real because I need a job. He was like, okay, first you're gonna have to give this money to a certain charity that I'm trying to donate to. And he sent me a check in the mail. But then I was like, first of all, the mail came from someone named Mark Flume, which is not what he said his name was when he emailed me. So I was like, who is Mark Flume? That's not the person that you said you were. I'm alarmed by that. That was like the third flag. And then the fourth flag was that he mailed me a check. If anyone mails you a check without you having done any work first, you know it's a scam. So I didn't even deposit it. I just texted him and was like, hey, can you send me your business license and driver's license with like all the personal info scratched out just so that I know you are who you say you are? And he was like, sure, but first can you send me your social security card, your driver's license, and your state ID? First of all, who has a driver's license and a state ID? Do people do that? Should I have a state ID? I don't have a state ID because I have a driver's license. You don't need both. Anyway, I was like, no, you're the employer. You should prove your identity before I prove mine because I'm working for you. You're going to be paying me. I have to make sure it's legit money. He never responded. So I knew that was the end. And then somebody else contacted me from a fashion designer, Rebecca Minkoff. I know you probably have heard of her, but I have never applied to be one of her employees because she deals with fashion. And if you know anything about me, you know I'm not a fashion guru. Fashion is like not my thing at all. I wear what I have and what people give me. I do not really shop at all. New clothes are not something that I know or really care to know. Like if it fits, it fits. Shopping and fashion has never been my venue. Mostly because like I'm practically colorblind. Like it's just not my thing. So like the fact that this company was reaching out to me and like thinking that I'd be a good intern, like I would be a good intern because I'm very hardworking and dedicated and motivated and persistent, but I would have to do a lot of research before I went with this company. And I wouldn't know how they would have known me because there was nothing about fashion on my LinkedIn profile. I don't really talk about fashion on anything that I post. I mean, it was flattering, I'm not gonna lie. Like,
do you think I can be a model?
But it wasn't real. Also, one thing that they do is they'll say that they want you to interview on Skype, which who is on Skype? So like you know that those things are fake. And then there was one, I don't even remember applying for this, but like for an assistant at Meridian Biology. And they emailed me back, but like with bad grammar, they wanted me to go on this random website. And then they wanted me to register my credit score with them so that they could check my credit. And they took me to a website that would be like, oh, we're gonna charge you just like $1 to get your credit scores checked. And then I told her, no place should ever charge you to get your credit scores checked. And if they are charging you, it's a scam. They're just gonna keep running your card. She was like, no, we'll reimburse you. It's legit. I was like, well, either you are a scam or you're working with a company that's a scam and I just told you and you don't care. Either way, it's a no for me, dog. It's been a lot. I've been on my toes though. I've been noticing a lot of stuff. I feel like a detective kind of, noticing all these little things. That's a scam, that's a scam. But I also feel like any other person would automatically know it was a scam. But it sucks. Why would they ever call me for a job? Because I'll like see a job position that they're saying I'm getting an interview for and I'll be like, wow, that's great because I'm gonna be employed. And then I'm not. Why would you literally prey on like people's hopes and like desperation for a job? Just to take their money that they don't have because they need a job. That's why they need a job, so they can get money. You're taking money from someone who already has less than what's necessary to live off of, hence why they need a job. Why would you do that? Why are you making your career that? Ugh, it's just disgusting. But it is what it is, I guess. If you know anyone that's hiring, hit me up. I can do anything remotely. But I need money. And it's not so I can buy stuff for myself. It's just so I can pay for my classes. I'm taking a summer class. I need to pay for tuition and housing for next semester and save up for that. And I can't do that without money. So it's rough. It's rough out here. So I'm still on the hunt for a job. We'll see what happens. I really want to do something related to the field that I'm going to be in. I've gotten offers to be like a childcare person, but it's not something that's gonna help me. I also just really don't like children, but I might have to do it because, you know, money is money, regardless of how it's made. But that's it. Basically, if you're a scam artist, don't do it. Stop it. You're trash. You're preying on the innocent and weak, and it's not nice. And if you are an employer, well, hello, allow me to attach my resume and marketable skills. But yeah, that's basically been my summer so far. It's been very relaxing. I've had a lot of time to think and sleep and avoid my problems by sleeping. But I need to make money now. Summer's like halfway over and I haven't saved up. And then all the internships are taken because they were taken in like March. I don't want to work in the service industry, but I think I will have to because I couldn't get a head start on getting a job in the industry that I'm actually interested in. And that's just very disappointing because I was kind of depending on that higher pay to save up for my summer classes and my fall semester. I don't know what we're gonna do. We'll see. That's all I got for you. Thanks for watching. Peace, love, power.